Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Akhandananda Sambodhah Bandhanatyasya Jayate Govindam Tamaham Vande Siddhananda Tanum Gurum. So yesterday we were seeing the 7 states, the 7 planes of knowledge. So he gave different names. And before explaining it, he gave the names. He just enumerated the names. That's all. And before that, through a beautiful question, he made it very clear that this is not of any great interest. This topic which we are going to discuss is not of any importance. If you have to remember or not remember things, whatever was said before, but this is optional. You don't have to concentrate too much of it. You don't have to worry too much about this. This is a useless discussion actually. Why? Because Bhagavan Bhāshyakara himself has implied very beautifully using the word, the disciple is asking for the sake of others, not for himself. Other seekers who are interested in liberation, for them he is asking. Mukshunam hitartha, for the others, not for himself. So that makes one thing clear, that all these discussions will be very clear when you understand the truth. You don't have to see, you cannot explain, even otherwise you cannot explain. This is useless because you cannot explain the experience, any experience for that sake, not just realization. Let us take a simple example of a sweet. If you have not tasted a sweet, if I am going to explain you what the sweet is, you will never be able to understand whatever I explain, how many ever pages I write. So, or I was talking about this in Tamil. When I was discussing in Tamil, I remembered this fruit called durian. There is a punch line for that. Smells like hell, tastes like heaven. That's a punch for that sweet. Now, if you are going to explain what durian is, you will never be able to understand. Until and unless you have not tasted it, you are not going to understand it. So, similarly here, whatever is going to be said, it is just an information for you. Then why should we should conclude the text actually? Why should we discuss this? It is just to incite the interest in you. Just to incite the interest. That's all. That nothing else. What kind of interest will I be able to gain without understanding what that is? Simple. There are some religions, some ashrams, some cults which give names or certificates or a distinctive style of dressing and things like that for different grades. In Vedanta, we don't give you any grade. You are ignorant, you are ignorant. He is older ignorant, he is younger ignorant. That is the only difference, if at all you are going to explain. What difference does it really make? Superior ignorant and inferior ignorant. What is that? So there is no point at all. But in these, they'll give a badge or they'll give a color ribbon. They'll give like in karate. In karate, that's a beautiful example actually. Karate, the highest is black belt. Okay, then two dan, three dan, etc. Whatever. Black belt is the highest. We know that. So a person who is capable of paying money for the karate classes is well endowed to buy a belt, black belt. Why should he undergo the classes? But that is not the point. There is training. The different levels of training is what the belt is. Okay. So now, therefore, you go to the master sensei and say, I want to learn karate. Oh, very good. Fine. Give him a belt. So they'll give you a black belt or green belt or yellow belt, some color belt. Now you have just started to learn how to do the salutation and say us. Just that. But they'll give you a belt. For what? To make you feel proud. Yes, I am part of this. And I have to go to green, yellow, then orange, then that, and brown, and then red and black. I have to gain this. So, just to make you feel comfortable, that belt is given. Similarly here, to make you feel comfortable, okay, which plane am I in? We'll see that. sthitaḥ mūḍha evāsmi prekṣye'haṃ śāstrasajjanaiḥ vairāgyapūrvamiccheti śubhecchā chochyate budhaiḥ. sthitaḥ mūḍha evāsmi prekṣye'haṃ śāstrasajjanaiḥ vairāgyapūrvamiccheti śubhecchā chochyate budhaiḥ. Kim aham mūḍha evāsmi sthitosmi. What? Why am I always staying like this, an idiot? Why am I staying always like an ignorant, like an idiot? Why am I an idiot always? So after seeing this, after finding yourself, finding a fault in your existence, seeing yourself to be an idiot, śāstrasajjanaiḥ, the people who, because of the association with people who are into the Shastra and practicing that whatever is prescribed in the Shastra, taught in the Shastra, then with their association, aham prekṣye, I will also see. Prekṣye, prekṣana, to see. Ikṣana, prakriṭa ikṣana, iksha, to see. Okay. So prakriṭa ikṣana, nicely, I will see it nicely. See nicely what? The self, of course. Iti vairāgyapūrvamiccheti. So this desire, ichcha, this desire is not just a desire. Because everyone has desires for different things. But the problem is they don't have the effort or they don't have the wherewithal. So it is not just a desire as desire, but a vairāgyapūrvam, endowed with viveka and vairāgya. What is viveka? It's viveka. It's vairāgya only. Only dispassion, no discrimination. Vairāgya and viveka are inseparable. We understood this very early. If you have vairāgya without viveka, you are an idiot. If you have viveka without vairāgya, then you are arrogant. So we don't want to be an idiot or arrogant. We just want to know the truth. So this is a viveka and vairāgya are inseparable. You have to understand. Okay, so viveka and vairāgya, along with the viveka, endowed with the viveka and vairāgya, ichcha, that desire for the sat, for the existence, for the truth. Shubha, auspicious, because yesterday we saw Sada Shiva. Shiva means Mangala, auspicious. Shubha means so auspicious. So Shubha, self. What is auspicious? Nothing other than self. We said everything is inauspicious other than self. Right? So Shubha, auspicious, ichcha, desire. Desire of the Shubha self is śubhecchā. Desire for the self is śubhecchā. So we can take the first. Śubhecchā, I have achieved śubhecchā. Next, okay. Now that is a welcome step, right? So you are in the process. śāstrasajjanasamparka vairāgyapūrvamiccheti sadācārapravṛttiryā procyate sa vicāraṇā. śāstrasajjanasamparka vairāgyapūrvamiccheti sadācārapravṛttiryā procyate sa vicāraṇā. Shastra Sajjana Samparka. Shastra and people who follow the Shastra, Sat Jana. People who follow the Sat Samparka, because of the association. It is not just the association with people who are known, but also with the Shastra, who also know the truth. With this we say. So, a guru is one who should be in the tradition, who has known and who is in the tradition. Right? So, Shastra Sajjana Samparka, because of the association with the Shastra and the people of knowledge, vairāgyapūrvamiccheti, endowed with vairāgya and abhyasa, practice. Endowed with viveka vairāgya and practice of what? Shastra, Shravana Manana. Okay? Sadācāra, ya sadācārapravṛtti. How do you know Shravana Manana? Because ya sadācārapravṛtti. Sadācārapravṛtti. Achara means practice. Pravṛtti, involvement. Involvement in the practice of sat means how do you practice sat? Through the listening and reflecting. Shravana Manana. So sadācārapravṛtti sa vicāraṇā. That is what is called as vicāraṇā. So doing the listening and reflecting is what is doing the Shravana and Manana is what is called as vicāraṇā. Vicāraṇā, inquiry, right? So the inquiry plane, Shravana and Manana. First plane is gaining the prerequisites. The second plane is Shravana and Manana. That is called as vicāraṇā. Śubhecchā, desire for the Shubha auspicious self is a śubhecchā. Doing the inquiry is vicāraṇā, second plane. Third, vicāraṇāśubhecchābhyāmindriyārtheṣu raktatā yatra tanutāmeti procyate tanumānasī. So we have to understand one thing very clearly. This is made very clear here in this third state, third plane. What is that? Vicāraṇāśubhecchābhyāmindriyārtheṣu raktatā yatra tanutāmeti. Yatra tanutāmeti. Procyate tanumānasī. Tanumānasī or tanumānasa. Some places tanumānasa they say. Tanumānasī does not really matter. Both are feminine case. Okay. Vicāraṇāśubhecchābhyām. Vicāraṇā. Śubhecchābhyām. With bhyam we mean there are dual. Two things. One is vicāraṇā and śubhecchā. We are meaning both. So the vicāraṇā is second state. And śubhecchā is the previous state to it. See, normally first and second state we shall say. But no, the nididhyasana, the third state is dependent primarily on the second state. So we say vicāraṇā. And without the first state, the vicāraṇā is impossible. Without the prerequisites, even if you listen, what is the point? So that state is also said. Meaning, you should never give up the first and second states or the first state. You have to practice viveka, vairāgya, samadhi, shakti, sampatti, mokshatva. You have to keep it always at stock. You have to have stock of them. You have to pile them up. Until and unless your mind is not completely settled in the truth. Then it becomes a practice. Whether it exists or not does not really matter then. Because you are liberated. What's the point? Okay. So, in śubhecchābhyāmindriyārtheṣu, because of that, what happens? The practice of first and second, because of that, what happens? There is vairāgya in both, right? So, indriyārtheṣu raktatā yatra tanutāmeti. Indriyārtheṣu, indriya, sense organ, artha, object. These objects association with sense organs. Yatra tanutāmeti, raktatā, the attachment. The attachment for the sense objects, yatra tanutāmeti, where it becomes very weak. Tanu means weak. It becomes very weak. The attachment for the sense objects becomes very weak. Sa tanumānasī procyate. Because we are attached to the sense object not through the sense organs. We are attached to the sense objects through the mind. Even if your mind is not there, whether you have sense organs or not does not really matter. The sense objects or not does not really matter. The sense organs or not does not really matter. If the mind is associated with sense organ, then you see the objects. We saw this, right? So, where that becomes weak, the association with the sense objects become weak. You don't care about the sense objects. That is called as tanumānasī. Tanu, weak. Manasi, mind. Mind becomes very weak. Not weak mind. Mind becomes weak. So that is what is the third state. So we have to understand vairāgya and viveka are two important states. I told you very clearly even in the beginning. At the beginning I said in the life story of any great saint, you have to understand only 2 points. Not where they are born and where they died. No, that is not. That is important. The place of birth, the place of death, and all are important. If you know that is good, go and take blessings from that place. That is okay, but that is not a point at all. They themselves didn't give any importance to those things. Then why should you give importance to them? The only 2 things you have to take as a takeaway is one, viveka, 2, vairāgya. That's all, nothing else. Because Bhagavan Bhashyakara, where was he born? We know he is born in Kalati. Okay, what is the time? Some say it is a before 5th BC. Some say no. 5th 8th AD. Different versions they have. So the thing is, does not really matter. They didn't give it importance. Otherwise, so many things he has written. One small line about his birth time. What is the problem? So that is not important. Second, where did he leave his drop his body? Where did he leave his body? Some say it is somewhere here. Some say it's Kedarnath. Different versions. That also again means that is not important. But the Veka and Vairagya, if we can imbibe, if we can take away as a takeaway, if we can take that Veka and Vairagya and practice that, that is what is important. Okay. Now, after the stories, what is the first state? Śubhecchā, auspicious desire. First state. Second state is inquiry, vicāraṇā. Third state is mind weakened, tanumānasī. Okay. Now, bhūmikāpañcakābhyāsādasaṃsargaphalā sattvātmani śuddhe sattvāpattirudāhṛtā. So these previous three states are the states of a seeker, practitioner. Now, the fourth state is the state of a person who has gained the knowledge, liberated. Okay. Now, bhūmikāpañcakābhyāsāt. Because of the practice of the three earlier planes, vashat. Not just because of the practice of these three previous states, but also vashat. Artha, objects, sense objects, of course. Viratehe, vigata rati. Rati means attachment, involvement. Vigata means devoid of. Removal, destruction of. Because of the absence of attachment to the objects, because of that, vashat, because of that, śuddhe chitte, and because the mind has become pure, sattvātmani sthite, sattva, the atma, the self, which is of the nature of sattva, existence, pure. So, in that state, in that gaining establishment, that is called as a sattvāpatti. Udāhrata, that is what is called as sattvāpatti. Sattva, self, apatti, gain. Apple root prapani, to gain. Okay. Sattva apatti, to gain. To gain the self. So he has gained the self. Now, daśācatuṣṭayābhyāsādasaṃsargaphalā rūḍhasattvacamatkārā proktā saṃsaktināmikā. daśācatuṣṭayābhyāsāt asamsargaphalā rūḍhasattvacamatkārā proktā asaṃsaktināmikā. daśācatuṣṭayābhyāsāt, because of the practice of these four planes, states, asamsargaphalā, samsarga, sarga means creation, samsarga means association with the creation, asamsarga means non-association with the creation. Simple. Samsarga means association. I am bringing in a different meaning. Sarga is creation, not associated with the creation. Okay? Phala, that is the result. Not associated with the creation is the result. That which gives that, because of the practice of the four, and that which gives the result, which is non-associated with the creation, the objects. Rūḍhasattvacamatkārā, and rūḍha, to be established. Established in what? Sattvācamatkārā, the sattva effulgence. The effulgence of the self. Ya asaṃsaktināmikā proktā. Whatever that is called as asaṃsakti. Asaṃsaktināmikā. Again, he is adding a namika to it. Asaṃsakti is the name given to that state, the fifth state. Okay. First is a śubhecchā, desire for the auspicious. Second is a inquiry, vicāraṇā. Third is a tanumānasī, mind weakened. Fourth is a sattva apatti, gaining the sattva self. Fifth is a asaṃsakti, not associated with the world. Okay. What is the difference between this and the later? We will see that. bhūmikāpañcakābhyāsāt śvātmārāmatayā bhṛśam ābhyantarāṇāṃ bāhyānāṃ padārthānāmabhāvanāt paraprayuktena ciraprayatnena abodhanam padarthabhavana nama sashti bhavati bhūmikā pañcakābhyāsāt swātmāramatayā bhṛśam ābhyantarāṇāṃ bāhyānāṃ padārthānāṃ abhāvanāt paraprayuktena ciraprayatnena avabodhanam padarthabhavana nama sashti bhavati bhūmikā. Now he is in two shlokas, he is talking about his state as well as his state. We'll understand both the state. Bhūmikāpañcakābhyāsāt, because of the practice of the previous 5 states, planes. bhṛśam swātmāramatayā sthitam, being established, bhṛśam, very nicely getting established, swātmāramatayā, meaning enjoying the bliss of the self. Established, nicely enjoying the bliss of the self. That is one state. Ābhyantarāṇāṃ bāhyānāṃ padārthānāṃ abhāvanāt. Because of that, because of being established in that state, ābhyantarāṇāṃ bāhyānāṃ, the internal and the external padārthānāṃ, objects, are made absent. Abhāvanāt. Bhavanāt means, bhavana means imagining. Abhāvanāt means is removed. Not imagining. Not imagining means not superimposing, not understanding, not perceiving those objects as different from oneself. See, once you understand the truth, your liberation is done. Then what is the special experience of bliss and all this Jivan Mukti, etc. you are saying? Nothing. Just I'll explain it. You see a rope snake, same. You see a rope, you understand, mistake it for a snake. Erroneous knowledge. You are afraid, terrified. Now you are given the knowledge that it is you want to get rid of it. That is the first state. Now you are searching for a snake charmer to get rid of it. Second state. Then you are given by the snake charmer the knowledge that it is a rope, not a snake. Third state. Now you use that knowledge, shine a torch, and you understand with bravery. You understand, say, shine a torch, and you see that it is a rope. Fourth state. Now you know it is rope. But since you are in a place where it is infested with snakes, suddenly, what is that? You suddenly think that it is a snake. You are afraid. Then, it's rope. I know it is rope. Now the knowledge kicks in. Even though the world surprises you, the knowledge kicks in. That is the fifth state. Okay. So sixth state, that is the fourth state. Fifth state and sixth state we'll see. Sixth state, he is saying, because of the practice of the previous 5 states, with reference to the sixth state, we'll understand the fifth state. Because of the practice of the previous 5 states, being established, enjoying the bliss of the self, he has made these non-existent. Non-existent means he is not imagining these, because he has removed the name and form from these things. So everything is self alone, nothing else other than self. So still, that is the first state. He is not imagining. That is the first state. But paraprayuktena ciraprayatnena avabodhanam. Paraprayuktena, he is influenced by another. Ciraprayatnena, an effort which for some time. He is influenced by another person for some time. When he is influenced by other person for some time, then avabodhanam. Avabodhana can be he wakes up, he comes out of the samadhi, or you can understand, gives the knowledge of the objects, the duality. When he is reminded of the duality, because he has superimposed. Now he is reminded of that by someone. That state, padartha abhavana, absence of the objects, nama as name. Sashti bhumika bhavati. That is the sixth state, sixth plane. So sixth plane is you are established in the self, you are enjoying the bliss of the self, but when someone puts an effort to bring you back, remind you of the world, then you come out. The fifth state is you yourself come out because of some reason or other with the world. Okay, that is the difference between fifth and sixth state. So, seventh state is षट् भूमिकाचिराभ्यासादभेदस्यानुपलम्भनात् यत् स्वभाव एकनिष्ठत्वं सा ज्ञेया तुर्यगाक्षितिः. षट् भूमिका चिर अभ्यासात् भेदस्य अनुपलम्भनात् यद् स्वभाव एकनिष्ठत्वं सा ज्ञेया तुर्यगाक्षितिः. षट् भूमिका चिर अभ्यासात्, because of the practice of the previous 6 states, chira, for a long time. Bhedasya anupalambanat, you don't see the duality. The duality does not exist. Because the duality does not exist, the duality does not manifest. Yadu subhava ekanishtattam, the natural state which you are established in, your inner nature. Sa turyagakshiti, that is what is called as turyagakshiti. Kshiti means earth. Kshitipala means king. Bhumipala is also king. Bhupala, Bhumipala is also king. Okay. So Kshiti means Bhumi. So Turyaga, Bhumi, that is the 7th state. So called Turyaga. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 is a Sattva Apatti. First is a śubhecchā. Śubhecchā, desire for the auspicious. Second is inquiry, vicāraṇā. Third is a practice, śubhecchā, tanumānasī. Because of the practice, the mind is weakened. That is third. Fourth is sattva apatti, gaining the truth. Fifth is asamsakti, not associated with the creation. Fifth is padārthābhāvana, making it, not manifesting it, not desuperimposing, not superimposing anything. Seventh is turyaga, the state where nothing exists, you are established in the self. Now, the fourth state, sattvāpatti, is also called as brahmavit. A person who is established in the fourth state is brahmavit, knower of self. The fifth state is a brahmavit vara. Vara means superior. One who is superior than the previous one, knower of the self. Brahmavit varenya is the sixth state. Means one who is greater than the vara. Brahmavit varenya. Brahmavit vara, Brahmavit varenya. Seventh state is a Brahmavit varishtha, superiorest. There is no comparison. The other states are comparative degree. This is superlative degree, superiorest. Okay, so Brahmavit vara, Brahmavit varenya, Brahmavit varishtha. These are the names with which people will be intimate in the Puranas and all, in the mythological text and all. You can see he is Brahmavit, varishtha, etc. They will say, just to point out what kind of state he is in. Okay, you can see many great saints, rishis, Rama, Krishna, etc. are Brahmavit varishtha, but they are involved in the worldly duties. How can a Brahmavit varishtha be involved in the worldly duties? He should be sitting under the tree and meditating. That is a stupid idea you have. That is not truth. That is why I said even people who are old, who have studied a lot, still have not gained the knowledge because they have their knowledge is blocked by their ideas. He is not giving any importance to the creation. He is not minding the creation. He is just discarding the creation. Because of the viveka and vairāgya, he is not giving it any importance. He has just removed the first name and form. He removes the existence. Now he is removing name and form. He just leaves the existence. Everywhere he sees only the existence. He sees only himself. What is there to act? Whether he keeps his eye open or closed, whether he acts or doesn't act, there is no difference absolutely. Okay, so that is the seventh state. We'll see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādaya Purnamevāvashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.